in June 2010. For the fourth time, the historic city was providing the setting of the CIRCOM European Summer Academy of Television. 20 young television journalists representing countries from all over Europe, East and West, have been selected for a month-long training course. All of them arriving with big expectations.
I think I would learn so much that it doesn't really fit in my head. That's my expectations.
How to get more creative in a very stressful day. I think we all are in the situation that we have to produce a lot of stories each day, and it's hard to keep up, to keep being creative when you do your work.
I come here because I want to get new skills for my job, because I work as a reporter only for around a year, and I want to see another angle on my job.
I expect to meet a lot of new people, to make some contacts which will maybe even come handy later on.
I would like to work here as VJ and to learn some VJ skills and to edit my stories as well.
The training was split into 4 parts, each part lasting 1 full week. First week was all about the theory. Here, the participants did not only repeat the basics of good television, they also learned how to make the story more interesting in a very easy but effective way. The second week was the technical week. Here, the young journalists could practice their filming and editing skills. For many of them, this was a very helpful experience, even though a lot of them had already worked as VJs before.
We decided that 50% of the participants this year would be video journalists. The reason behind that being that we would get the video journalists to work with normal journalists who would also pick up the skills of the video journalist. So it was a sort of cross-fertilization of skills.
This is about the broader picture. It's about the journalism and the visuals and bringing the two together. Whether you're a VJ, whether you're an individual reporter acting on his or her own without a camera, but with a camera operator, or frankly, I mean, whether you're a picture editor who may not go out at all. It's the whole package.
To increase their understanding of Europe and the European identity, the Academy gives participants the unique chance to make a report outside of their own country. For many of them, it's a new experience.
These people have worked in their own countries as journalists, as producers and camera operators. But to go to another country where the culture is different, and most of all the language is different, and you simply don't know the place, and suddenly that's what a journalist is about, being dropped into another country and having to make sense of it. And you see people when they come here, you know, they're a little bit, quite justifiably, worried about what they're facing. Once they've done this, at the end of the month, they glow with confidence. It's the only way I can put it.
So in the third week, 10 teams of 2 traveled to their destinations to shoot the stories they had been working on.
What's really pleased me this year is the quality of the stories. Just to take 3 representative examples here. A beautiful story here about a choir in Bosnia that is working for peace, reconciliation and integration of the 3 different communities in Bosnia. Beautifully shot, fantastic story and wonderful music. Very strong political story about Geert Wilders, the right-wing politician who got a considerable number of seats in the Dutch Parliament this time. Again, a really strong piece of journalism. And strong pictures as well. And then we've got a lovely item here about couch surfing, about people going around the world, sleeping on people's couches for nothing. So meeting people, traveling the world and not paying anything. And it's just a wonderful human interest story of this guy who just loves having people in his home, and the people who come from all over the world who love being in his home.
After shooting, it was back to Nuremberg to edit and finalize the stories. All on their own, but of course supported by the trainers.
One of the components of the course that I don't think can be underestimated is that it's conducted in English. Now everybody speaks English, but it's by no means everybody's first language. So trying to understand each other, doing the reporting, doing the translation, doing the research means that it's very difficult to make sure that we all understand exactly the same thing.
Week number 4. After all the stories were finished, the young journalists traveled to Strasbourg. All of them had already become close friends by then, which made the 5-hour bus ride much more enjoyable. Arriving in Strasbourg, the participants had the chance to visit the European Parliament as well as the European Court of Human Rights. The trip also gave the journalists the opportunity to rethink the past 4 weeks.
It was a really nice experience. I'm really happy because I was here. I didn't learn something about TV. I learned also about culture, different cultures. For example, I had a nice time with a Swedish girl. I mean, she is also Norwegian, Sami and Swedish. So I learned something about her and of course about other people from the course.
We were working abroad, which is a really great experience because from my local TV station it's not so usual to go somewhere, and we were just put into some country and you must swim there, and I think everyone here did it well.
It was an amazing experience. We did learn a lot about how to be creative, how to think outside of the box, to think differently, to get something new into our stories to attract the viewers.
I go back with much more energy now and ready to start working maybe in a different way.
In the end, the CIRCOM European Summer Academy of Television has again produced 10 interesting European stories and brought Europe once again a little bit closer together.